Today on the VR Cauldron, we'll be talking about how the next generation of VR headsets could possibly have a lower system requirement than the current generation. Hello, welcome to the VR Cauldron. I'm Witch, and this is a video I wasn't planning on doing today until I saw a video from IS&T Electronic Imaging Symposium. I caught it yesterday, and it just got me thinking about the future of the next generation of VR headsets. So it was a talk given by Douglas Landman, who works for Facebook Reality Labs, who are basically Oculus, because Facebook bought Oculus back in the day, so anything Facebook is going to get to Oculus. About how the next generation might not have the ability to allow you to focus at different points in the distance whilst in VR. Now, at the moment, VR headsets have a fixed focus lenses, meaning everything is pretty much in focus apart from things that are up close. If anyone's pushing past 30, you might have noticed that it's harder to see things up close. It takes you a while to focus on them, and that's kind of like how it is inside the headset. Everything's out and clear, but as soon as it gets up, it's all a bit blur. So through eye tracking, they're hoping to monitor your eyes whilst in the headset, and I'm purposely staying away from any big words or anything like that because I barely understand them. Through eye tracking, you'll be in the headset, and the headset will know what you're looking at. So it knows by tracking your eyes, if you're looking at something close, it will adjust the focus so that the thing up close becomes in focus and then everything else is out of focus, which is basically how it works in real life. When we look at something up close, eventually it becomes in focus. I'd have to take my glasses off to do that, but everything else is out of focus. Now that led me to start thinking, does that mean that in the future generation, whether it be the next generation or the one after, that because only certain things are in focus at the same time, does that mean that it will be easier to run those images? Obviously, things like resolution and frames per second will increase, I assume, on the next generation. Obviously, we'd assume that the next generation would have higher resolutions and more frames per second, meaning that you would require a stronger CPU and graphics card to run them. However, with the eye tracking and with the varifocal ability of the lenses, does it mean that the things in the background, because they're blur out of focus, they don't technically have to be rendered as sharply as they would normally? And same with the things up close, which would be blur anyway, I suppose, but now it can actually digitally blur it because it knows through the eye tracking that you're looking at the back of the scene, so everything at the front no longer has to be in focus and as clear and as sharp. Now, you might have heard of something called foveated rendering, which is basically another way to save resources, again through eye tracking. So it's not something that's in the current generation of VR headsets. So again, through eye tracking, it knows which part of the screen inside the VR headset you're looking at, so it makes that bit sharp, and then it saves resources by making all the other bits not so sharp. So eye tracking actually opens all these doors of the foveated rendering and the varifocal ability. Once they've mastered the ability to do that, which according to the video, which I'll have a link below, it looks like they have, and they've made it very small, so it will be in a smaller headset hopefully. Does that mean the next generation will not require as strong a PC as we might think to run it? I imagine it will, but could it be that the advances in frames per second and resolution are offset by the ability to spend less resources rendering other scenes due to the headset's ability to track where you're looking and throw everything else out of focus and therefore spend less resources on it? What do you think? If you think yes or no or something else, because there's so much to talk about. The video is over an hour long. It's worth a watch. The first time I watched it was a bit late at night and I fell asleep, but I watched it again and it is very, very interesting. So what do you think? The future of VR, Are we going to need beasts to run it, or do you think we'll be able to run it on machines that are only just slightly a bit more powerful than what we've got right now? It's all very interesting, it's all very exciting, and I don't know about you, I'm really excited for the future of VR, and as it becomes more and more like real life whilst you're in there, as soon as someone releases that killer game that basically is a big, huge oasis, kind of like the Oasis in Ready Player One, people are going to start living in VR. I know people have pretended to live in VR at the moment, but people are really going to just spend a lot of time in there. What do you reckon? Could the Oasis be just around the corner? I would argue that the Oasis actually is already here, but that's another video. If you want to hear my thoughts on that, just let me know, and maybe we can have a talk about that. But exciting times. So that was a quick one anyway. Thanks for watching. I was really actually just testing a new light I've got, but I wanted to talk about this as well. So if you found that interesting, hit the like button, because it does help with the YouTube algorithm, and being a new channel, I need all the help I can get. If you want to hear more opinions and discussions on VR and obviously other VR content, hit that subscribe button too. Thanks for watching. I've been Witch. This has been the VR Cauldron. I hope to see you next time. Take care.
Upside down, I can't see heaven. Am I under your protection spell? Just don't hang up the phone. They wanna send me straight to hell. I can see you, but I'm all alone. Will you save me? Will you save me? I know I'm running out of time. If I'm falling, will you help to make me?